Hello, YouTubers. The new Time Travel Jaime 88. I'm back with another Doctor Who DVD review. And yes, we're still celebrating Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. So tonight, we're continuing to celebrating 50 years of Doctor Who and the monsters. This time, we're going to do the Centurions. And before we start the review, I have one Doctor Who DVD that I forgot to show in the Master Collection. It is Doctor Who The Movie Special Edition. Well, technically, it's a good story, but I decided it's not included in the Master Collection, but a lot of people saying I'm wrong, but anyway, the TV movie is a very awesome film. I love this episode. This television movie. Eric Roberts did a wonderful job playing the Master. Okay, that's out of it now, but let's get on to this week's Doctor Who and the Monsters with the Centurion. The Centurions appear in the third Doctor 4-part adventure, The Time Warrior. Yup, this is a very awesome story. It is the first Doctor Who story to open up in the 11th season and marks the first appearances of Elizabeth Sladen as Sarah Jane Smith. The Centurion's good. I love this episode. It is fantastic. Next up, the Tom Baker adventure with the Sontaran adventure. The 2-part story, The Centurion Experiment. Brilliant adventure. I love this episode. It is fantastic. And that's when the Centurions come to Earth and discover the 3 or 4 men are trying to do their dirty work, but the plan backfires. Even though the Centurions' plan was backfired by the Doctor, it's a very awesome story, don't you think? But the Centurions continue to haunt the 4th Doctor in the 1978 adventure, 6-part story, Doctor Who, The Evasion of Time. This is one of a heck of a story. I love this episode. And this is the last appearances of Louise Jameson as Leda. And yes, it's a good story. And probably the best Centurion episode. But, and since the 5th Doctor never encountered the Centurion, but Colin Baker did, in the 3-part story, The 2 Doctors. Yes, a very good story. Awesome multi-doctor story. Is the 2 Doctors pitting against the Centurions like a talking potato or cucumber. It's a good story. Chicini is excellent. Good story. But the Centurion strategy is not over yet. The Centurions did return in the David Tennant story, The Centurion Strategy and The Poisonous Sky. Yup, this is a awesome story. I love this episode. It is fantastic. Awesome watch. Good 2-part story with the Centurions. Next up, however, the Centurions did appear again in the Matt Smith 5th series, The Pandoric Opens. Yes, Pandoric Opens is a awesome adventure, good story, and compete against the other Doctor's allies. Good, I love the story. However, the Centurions are not over yet. In the Series 6 adventure, A Good Man Goes to War. magnificent story. I love this episode. It is fantastic, and it's got well-directed story. Highly recommended. And it's a good incidental music by Murray Gold. But the Centurions did encounter in the Christmas adventure the Snowman. I haven't seen this bit, but I saw some bits and pieces, but it's a okay story. I love this episode, but I'm gonna have to rewatch this story. However, the Centurions did appear once more in the Matt Smith adventure, The Crimson Horror. Well, The Crimson Horror is another story I haven't seen, but I saw some bits of clips of this episode, and it's okay. And I loved it. I had to rewatch this episode again. And not only that, Centurion, it also appeared on the season finale of In the Name of the Doctor. Ooh. Haven't seen that story, but it's a awesome adventure. Good. It's a good story too. However, not only the Doctor encounters the Centurions, but Sarah Jane did in this episode of The Last Centurions. Yup. I love this episode. It is fantastic. And sadly, this is Yasmin Page's last episode as playing Maria as they move to the U.S. Awesome story. But Sarah Jane did not get rid of the Centurions again, but she encountered one last time in this adventure the enemy of the Bane. Yes, this time the Centurions are pitted a work against teaming up together with the woman with the eyeglasses known as the Bane. Yup. Good story. I love this episode. Okay, now I do not have the other Centurion stories nor audio adventures of it too. Sorry about that. But anyway, that concludes the Doctor Who Monster Collections of the Centurions. Shout out goes to Douglas E. Wolf. And if you like to rate, comment, and subscribe, please do so. Thanks for watching. Jamata.